Airport just off the 405 or the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Herbert. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Here's Herbert. The open man is sharp. It's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. The Chargers at 9-1 on the year. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
And partner, to me, this is a team that no matter what the matchup, they're up for the fight. They are really suited for the postseason the way they're playing right now. And I would not want to face them come playoff time.
A big pickup of 38. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful. And that strength was on display there. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert caught left side, Williams. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Eckler is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Eckler again, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Austin Eckler with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
That's caught. Waddle on the left side.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Escaping the pressure right. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3 and out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
In motion, Hill. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was the first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Got the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room.
He's got a man complete.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
A big play there for L.A. 74 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Austin Eckler.
His second TD of the game and 18th of the year.
And the Chargers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. An unlucky number here, a loss of 13 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. They'll run with Ridley. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, and maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Got a man, that's Colin Johnson.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Charger drive about to get going.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for it, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though, good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt.
Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22.
A 57-yard punt, 11 on the return.
And it'll be Dolphin football.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up. and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. This is Ridley. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control. He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Herbert. And that's going to be caught downfield by Chark. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take over here up near the 40. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique, and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance. He's helping his team in a huge way.
And going deep for Hill. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Miami. 53 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a give here to Pollard. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got a man. It's Johnson. End zone. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make our score 14-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Charger drive about to get going. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 2nd down and 5. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Sliding out of the pocket. And Shark calls it in. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game, as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Out of the gun now on third down.
Got a man, it's Waddle, complete.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Back to throw now on first down. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5.
Now Ridley. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Colin Johnson, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins have got it back to within a score.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Herbert. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Channing Tindall in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half.
He's got a man, complete.
And they got this down to about the 12-yard line. But In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football, and this is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. But now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
And going deep for Hill. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
59 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Third and 2, Herbert. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They go jet sweep here with Chark. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers will add to their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down.
That looked great when he first took off, because in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his fourth down call.
And why the field goal team is still out there is beyond me. Time to reconsider after the delay.
No, they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At the 34.
He'll hand off here to Eckler.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 86 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for first.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time definitely a big factor at this stage of the game.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And he's got Ezekiel Elliott.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
They go play action here on first down. They're going deep for Hill. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Makes the score. Chargers 27. Dolphins 21. Jake
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
First down, and they stick with Eckler.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
It's Eckler again. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one. Both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner. Let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
So for the chart.
Losing's what I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates, all my bars on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment pass. Yeah, I know my time is now. Know my mama proud of me, and my grandma smiling down. Every time I turn it up, whole crowd be wilding out. Matter of fact, let me see your hands. Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody